amazing place. Feels like a dream. A place of many wonders. And full of life. I open my eyes. Earth is our Pandora.
Probably seen Charlemagne the God on your timelines, maybe a few times here and there, I don't know, maybe a lot, probably a lot. Today he'll talk about his book, Get Honest or Die Lying, Why Small Talk Sucks. So today, Queen Bee and D Strong from 95.7 The Beat will moderate a talk with Charlemagne the God. So without further ado, help me in welcoming to the stage the man himself, Mr. Charlemagne the God.
Y'all thought we were Charlemagne? Nah, we're not Charlemagne. However, I think she just did an amazing job of probably introing us. I go by the name of DJ D Strong. Also, today we have the one and only, the lovely, from 95.7 The Beat, Queen Bee!
Privilege publishing.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say.
Which is why we're here today, for the book.
They do call him, and I was going to tell this to his face when he comes out here. I know he's coming, but they also call him the Prince of Pissing People Off.
Well, I know that he's also my fellow Cancer.
Oh, he is?
Yes, yes.
I was just going to say, I don't think he is the prince. I think he is the king of pissing people off.
Well, you keep it real.
King the God! Here he goes.
On the telephone that every day, as my first break on the radio, I do your positive note of the day, which I so enjoy because it's very uplifting. It gets us started, gets us set for what we're going to do the rest of the day.
We use the Breakfast Club with the perfect balance of ratchetness and righteousness. So, you got to end the show with something positive.
Yeah. Ratchetness and righteousness, I love it.
Nah, definitely. And you know what? We're going to get right into it. It's not your first book. It's not your second book. If I'm not mistaken, this is your third, right?
Third book, absolutely.
Now, and it's the inspiration behind the name of this one. Like, did you just wake up one day and was like, you know what? This is what I'm gonna call it.
So, sort of, kind of, a lot of the things that I've been writing over the past 3 or 4 years, you put it together in a book. A book is like a package, right? And so it's like once you put it in a package, you got to figure out what kind of wrapping you want to put it into. What stories have I been telling? Like, what is the theme of the book? And I noticed the theme was I'm just really trying to get people to be the most honest version of themselves. If you read the book, you see that I talk a lot about social media because I feel like social media has everybody waking up every day fresh. Like, they literally wake up every day and everybody feels like they got followers and they feel like they got to put on this mask to perform for people. So if you wake up every day and you perform for people, you're not really being, a true, authentic version of yourself. So I went on this spiritual retreat earlier this year, and one of the things that came up for me during the spiritual retreat, we were on plant-based medicine.
I was just going to say, you were on some substances, if I'm not mistaken, on this one. Okay, yes.
We were on some plant-based medicines, and one of the things that came up for me was stop lying to yourself and stop volunteering those lies to other people. And I realized that is what I was, trying to explain to everybody in this book. So, I always like to keep it hip-hop, so of course I'm paying homage to, one of the greatest hip-hop albums of all time, Rich Die Trying. So it's Get Honest or Die Lying. And the why small talk sucks part is because I do not like small talk. Like, I don't, and I'm not even just talking about the literal, when people come up to you and they just asking you about a whole bunch of nothing. It's like, I really don't even like having small conversations. Like, let's talk about something big. And I feel like we live in an era right now that we make so many micros, macros because of social media to the point where everything seems like it's weighted the same nowadays. So it's like small issues that we shouldn't be making big, we do. And the big issues, we make small. We don't even know how to talk about, macro issues going on in the world anymore.
It's funny because today, every day if you listen to me from 10 to 2, I always talk about the holidays for today, and a lot of them sound kind of random. But today is New Conversations Day. In your approach to your personal growth and even your career.
That's the hardest thing to do, right? Like, everybody in this room can look at the next person and tell them the truth about what they may have on, or, you know, tell them they breast stink, or, you know, tell them you don't like their hair. It's easy to do that with other people, but it's hard to do that when you're looking in the mirror. You know, like, it's very hard to wake up every day, look in the mirror, and like be 100% completely honest with yourself. But you have to challenge yourself to do that every day, because you can't give that to anybody else if you're not giving it to yourself, right? Like, it's like love. They say your first, last, and best love is self-love. I feel like it's the same thing when it comes to self-awareness. Like, you know, you can't be aware of everybody else's flaws and, you know, everybody else's mistakes, but you can't look in the mirror and be aware of your own.
Would you say, is there a specific moment that maybe you encountered where you were like, you know what, I'm not being real with myself, that kind of triggered you to take it to the next level of being like, you know what, I need to be the spokesperson to make people know, understand, and know that it's okay to not have to lie?
I don't know if there was ever a particular moment. I kind of been checking myself for a long time because my pops, right? Like, my pops used to always say to me, when you lie, you're only lying to yourself. And that's something that always, you know, resonated with me. And like, I'm a type of person, I deal with like really, really bad anxiety. So a lot of times, I want to always give out what I want back from people, because any man in here that's ever, like, you know, let's just say nobody gonna admit to it, but got caught cheating, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of times you'll have that guilt and you'll start projecting that guilt onto your significant other because of the BS that you do. So I think you gotta approach life like that. Like, if you want honesty from other people, then you have to be an honest person with yourself at all times. Anything you want from somebody else, you gotta flip the switch tomorrow. Like, it's a constant process. Like, you know, anybody in here that goes to therapy and, you know, you're dealing with, you know, unhealed traumas that may challenge yourself. Read the book, get the information, and just always check yourself. Because you know when you're lying. That's what my dad said that. It made so much sense. My dad was like, yo, you're not lying to me. You lying every day with yourself. You know when you're not telling the truth. So just don't lie to yourself. That's crazy. Right. You're crazy.
You're right about that. I'm gonna take it back a little bit, because like we were saying, this is not your first, not your second, not your third book. With the career path that you have set out for yourself that has clearly been successful, at what point did you think to yourself, like, you know what, I'm gonna write a book?
Oh, that's something I always wanted to do, because my mom is an English teacher. And you know, growing up in South Carolina, like, we had something called the booking program. You had to read 4 books to get a free pizza. So yeah, y'all remember Pizza Hut, right? Everybody remember that personal pan pizza. So I used to read so much when I was young. So between my mom being an English teacher and a Jehovah's Witness, so I was reading the Watchtowers and the Waits, my book of Bible stories. Like, there was always literature. And my dad was, you know, he gave me the autobiography of Malcolm X to read. Like, I've always been, you know, a heavy reader. And so being that I was always a heavy reader, I was always a writer as well. So I was writing short stories when I was a kid, you know, then that turned into, you know, wanting to write raps, because, you know, when you black. Common was on Breakfast Club this morning, Common and Pete Rock. And Common had the line on...
They think it's live, man. You can't tell when they come out yet.
Oh, well, that's crazy. Yeah, well, it is live except for the pre-tape. But he says on there, he goes, my testimony, all my testimonies came from tests, right? And that hit me so hard, because it's true. Anything that you've gone through in this world, I don't care what it is, if you share it with someone, it will impact them. And I asked Common about that line, and he was talking about an old song he did with Lauryn Hill, where he talked about him and a young lady having an abortion. And he said somebody came up to him one time throughout his career and said to him, yo, I did not have an abortion because of what you showed me in that song. And so think about that. Like, that was something that he went through, that he didn't have to share with anybody, but he decided to, but it made somebody else, you know, make a decision that they're happy with. And so that's why I say, man, I don't care what it is that you've gone through, man. The so-called good, the so-called bad, the so-called ugly. Do not be afraid to share that with other people, man. Because I'm the type of person at my age, my big age of 46 right now, I don't even look at things as good or bad. I just think that, you know, it's all part of this one long process, you know, called life.
self-discovery.
If it is at all, to you, to mentoring those coming up maybe in the game, does that play a part in your life today?
Absolutely, 100%. You know, because the same way that I talk about people that have helped me throughout my life, you know, that's what I hope, you know, people that I've assisted do for me. Like, you know, that's how you become immortal in a way, right? Like, you know, I think a lot of people are they're very selfish, you know, and it's like, yo, when you go, who's gonna be here to keep, you know, your name alive, right? And I just think it's dope when you can, you know, look around and see people doing extremely great things, and they say, hey man, you know, this person played a role in helping me get to this point. I just think that's really dope. And I just think that that's what people did for me. So I have to, you know, give back and pay it forward by doing it for others. Plus, I think it's dope. And I remember being the young person who, you know, there was a lot of people that definitely gave me game, but I also remember the people that didn't. And all of those people that, you know, didn't pour into other people, and, you know, they just decided to, like, pour it all for themselves, they all washed now. Every single one of them. All of them. So I just don't want to be that.
100%. So the themes in your book, Get Honest or Die Lying, Why Small Talk Sucks, how do those themes of honesty and authenticity align with the mission of the Urban League? Shouts out to the Urban League of Hillsborough County.
Well, I know the Urban League, but what is y'all's exact mission? Like, I'm very familiar with the Urban League. You know, I worked within the Columbia, South Carolina, but what is the exact mission before I answer the question?
We're gonna bring Kaya up for that.
Kaya.
Come on, Kaya. Don't be shy, Kaya.
Okay, so the Urban League's mission is economic empowerment and accessibility through upward mobility. So giving someone a hand up rather than a hand out, right? We want to teach them to fish, not just give them a fish.
100%. That goes into the last question, you know, you just asked me. You know, like, that's right. You know, Jay-Z got a line where he says, if everybody in your clique is rich, your clique is rugged, nobody will fall because everybody is each other's crutches. That don't necessarily just apply to money, it just apply to position. Like, you know, help other people, you know, pour into other people, because you never know when you might need somebody, you know, to hold you up. So, I mean, empowerment is just what I'm about, period, you know, because so many people poured into me on the way up. I got so many lucky breaks that I probably wasn't supposed to get. I can't say that because that's clearly what God wanted for me. But it's the same thing. Like, if you can help somebody, if you can provide an opportunity for somebody, why not? What was I at yesterday? I was somewhere yesterday and I saw this plaque on the person's desk. I was at the car dealership getting oil change. And the plaque on the person's desk said, you know, it costs you nothing to be kind. And I feel like that with just not just kindness, but just with assistance, with helping. It don't cost you anything to do that. Now, don't get me wrong, you can't, you know, help everybody. But when the spirit does move you, and, you know, you feel like, you know, you can assist this person, do it.
Share with your own children in helping their journey of growth and development in authenticity and honesty.
Man, so many. I mean, I've been blessed to have some amazing mentors, from my man Dr. Robert Evans, I just named, to, you know, my guy George Cook, who was the first person to give me a full-time job in radio. You know, I don't like to say, you don't like to say your parents are mentors, right? Because they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is raising you and, you know, instilling good things in you. But I've had so many, even when I worked with, you know, Wendy for those few years. Like, she was a good mentor, Wendy Williams. So it's so many things. Like one thing that I always probably quote every day and probably tell people every day is the rule that, well, it was told to me two different ways. My dad told me back in the day, he said, you're never as good as they say you are, and you're never as bad as they say you are. So I've always carried that with me. And then another mentor of mine, Cadillac Jack, who is one of the people, along with G-Spin, who put together the Breakfast Club, he said to me, I want you to always remember the rule of 10. 3 people gonna like it, 3 people not gonna like it, 4 people don't even know what the hell's going on. You know? And that's how I always carry it. And, you know, in this era of social media where people are constantly throwing their opinions at you, like, yo, we've been on social media for over 20 years. So we've been probably getting unsolicited opinions about ourselves for about 15, you know, we come from the Black Planet MySpace days. It wasn't the social engagement that it is now. But every single day, every single thing you do, somebody is commenting on, somebody is talking about it. you know, if you're not a strong-minded person, it can't get to you. So I think you should remember those things that my father in Cadillac Jack told me. You're never as good as they say you are, you're never as bad as they say you are. And always remember the rule of 10, 3 people will like it, 3 people won't, 4 people don't even know what the hell is going on.
Before you ask another
It's like, support black people. Let's support each other. The Urban League reaches out, you know, 95.7 to be like, you know, we're on every morning. I don't have to have us on, you know, radio station every morning. So it's like, why wouldn't I, you know, show up? And plus, I give Florida too much hell. Like, you know, I stay every morning to create from America, from the Bronx and all of Florida. You know, I think it can inspire people just by reading it and really just encourage you to be the best, you know, most honest version of yourself. Which I don't think Florida have a problem with. You know, chapter by chapter, let's discuss.
I see an amazing place. Feels like a dream. A place of many wonders. And full of life. I open my eyes. Earth is our Pandora.